questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Bandcam's reactions watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South they flying, keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Hidden in the trees. Hidden in the trees, far away from society, lies a very troubled species. The Chelsea fan. After spending silly money on shite players and playing terrible football, the Chelsea fan is afraid to show his face. Lurking in the bushes, he spots a friend who feels his pain. The Liverpool fan. 2 years ago, this species would be wearing the badge with pride after finally winning the league. But now, they too are a laughingstock. They lock eyes, embrace, and share a moment together, thinking of the good times they once had. But their moment of comfort soon turns to sorrow, as unaware to them, their predators spot them in the open. They proceed to humiliate the prey with various insults known as trash talking. Disgraced and ashamed, the two helpless victims make a run for it and return to their natural habitat before any more embarrassment can take place.
Good evening, big up, it's been a minute. It's the return of obviously Get Amped, the fan call-in show, where any fan can call in and discuss their weekend performance and other news and such. Hope you're doing well, hope you're good. Hope you enjoyed that little intro clip. I found it funny, I thought I'd play it and such. And it shows the massive switch in dynamics, obviously, in the Premier League season this year. But as we wait for anyone to call in and such, I'm going to initially just start talking about the transfer window. Mad window. I'm trying to figure out which team to start off with. I guess, we start off with Chelsea. I guess we should start off with Chelsea. Now, obviously, a lot has been made about their spending. A lot has been made about FFP and whether that plays a part and why it has played a part and why it's not played a part, etc., etc. And you've just got to take a look at the fact that Chelsea have kind of found a way to get around it, and you can't really hate on them. I mean, obviously it's against the rules, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. What they've done is they've gone and given their players like very, very long contracts, which means that they can obviously split their payments over longer periods, which means that when you're actually looking at how much they spend per year, it's not even a lot. I believe FFP have decided that they're gonna take a look into that in future, because obviously it's clearly a loophole that that Chelsea got away with. But you can't really hate what they've done. But then obviously you then look at the performances, and it seems like nothing has changed. And it'd be very interesting if we have a Chelsea fan on to see whether or not they're Potter in or Potter out. Are Potter's hands tied? Are these the players Potter wanted? There's so many aspects of it, so many different aspects of it. So that's obviously one aspect of the transfer window. I think obviously one of the biggest moves for Chelsea was obviously signing Mudryk, who was really, really begging Arsenal to sign him and such, and then Arsenal pulled away from the deal due to the financial side to it, and Chelsea stepped in with, I believe it was an 80 million plus deal, so it's a lot of money to be fair. Speaking of Arsenal, they brought in Trossard, who I think was a very good signing. Jorginho as well, transfer deadline day. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I've missed out. No, they haven't missed, not anyone else I've missed out on there. And obviously they wanted Caicedo from Brighton, who even sent out, I don't know if it was him personally or is like an agent or representative, but like really put out a message saying that he really wants to go, and it's for his family, and obviously just talking about his upbringing and so on and so forth. you know, but no move materialized. Arsenal paid, how much was it? About 70 million. They'll bid 70 million, and Bright kept turning it down. So there's a lot going on. But funny enough, speaking of clubs, I just want to say welcome to Alid, Club Talk TV. I was just talking about the transfer window whilst people waited to come in and jump in and talk about their club, and we'll get to the Wolves game in a minute. But let's talk transfers first and foremost, because obviously you didn't bring anyone in apart from obviously Cody Gakpo. How do you feel your window went?
Not particularly great. I mean, obviously the acquisition of Cody Gakpo is a positive one. We've got obviously players going forward offensively. That's not a problem. But I think the biggest concern is obviously when we're in transition and going forward to then switching to a more defensive, pragmatic sort of style. It just evades us, and we haven't got that solid mobility in there at the moment. And to compound the lack of confidence that is there as well, it's a calamity. Things that, as a result, we're seeing these results repeatedly, and it's crazy to see. But I think there is a big root to the problem where there's been under recruitment over a sustained period of time in a certain position. I mean, I think since the Champions League final in 2018, Liverpool have only acquired 2 midfielders, and obviously that is not good enough if you want your squad to evolve, and especially playing the intensity that we play. You need adaptability, and you also need that variance. And if you're not getting that from everyone, then it's going to be a problem eventually. And I think a long time in the making, really.
You obviously spoke about the lack of investment and stuff. Now FSG, there was rumours that you're going to be bought out, or they were looking to sell. Like, what's the developments with that, and are they leaving?
I'm not too sure. I think there's a bit of a dynamic currently going on that not even the fan base or even the players within the club actually know what's going on. The intentions of FSG weren't really made clear. We know obviously they wanted. They put a statement out clearly declaring that they were intending on enticing more offers, and they were listening to offers, which leads us into the idea that yes, they're not as wholly committed. Besides the fact then they've come out and they've said they're committed still. So it's all a bit of mixed messages at the moment. We've obviously heard links and rumours about the Qatari development, and FSG still want 10% ownership of that. But it's all a bit complicated, and it's so many rumours that I wouldn't really like to comment on it too much because again it's all a bit up in the air. But look, I hope that it happens in a period of time where we need that investment now, and I think they need to back Klopp in the right areas as opposed to getting another attacker or getting another defender. We need players in the correct position that will ensure that we go forward in the most efficient and pragmatic way possible. FSG aren't providing that, and therefore I feel we need to be backing Jurgen Klopp as opposed to just trusting that he can just click his fingers and it all goes better. But I'm not really sure of it. I'm not going to lie, Rich. I'm not really sure, bro.
Go on, maybe just a few comments. Big up my brother Tariq. I don't know how you lot survived this weekend after your defeat to Everton and such. He says here, big up Rich and Alid after the wrong message. Anyway, but big up Lee as well. Another Arsenal fan. Guys, obviously the link is here, pinned at the top. If you want to come in, talk about your club, more than welcome. Open forum, chat football and stuff. You are absolutely right. We need a striker. Badly. Big up Chris Welch as well. Big up lads. I don't feel sorry for any Liverpool players. F them. They need to take the heat for this mess, as does the manager. Can't keep blaming FSG every time we lose. And that's why I was going to go into the actual game and such. What went wrong?
A calamity of things. a range of things went wrong, a lack of urgency, and yes, it's very interesting that Chris alludes to that, because I think an element of blame has to be directed at FSG. However, Klopp's shouldn't be immune to criticism as well. His selections have been very drastic over the last few weeks, to say the least, and that's minimal as well. Like playing Gomez, who I believe is a player. Too many players are out of form at the minute and low on confidence, and I just want Jurgen to act in a way that is just protects his players a little bit more, because it's really draining to see as a fan, let alone as a player. I think the urgency, that there's a mentality issue. I'm adamant of it, because that is represented in the run and stats. And everyone can talk about a physical problem, but when there's a physical problem, there's a mental problem rooted to that as well. So I think there's too many deficiencies going on. Another rumour made the rounds in the week that there was a bit of a tiff in the background with the fitness coach, Andreas Kornmeier, and Jurgen Klopp, and are having too much hierarchy. So
because you haven't upgraded your inhalers. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. I mean, yeah, it's just a load of things really that I just don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but whenever I watch it, it just makes me angry, because you just feel helpless as a fan, and seeing the lack of running, the urgency, the body language, it's really concerning to see, because questions are now starting to be directed at, well, as Klopp lost the dressing room, and you would never have thought that 6 months ago when we were in the running for all four. So very crazy stuff are happening. Such a drastic drop off, and can Liverpool recuperate and go again? Well, Klopp will have to have another opportunity to rebuild, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, because obviously with your club, you look at the fact that, like, yes, Mane left, but I believe you've replaced him adequately. Not as good enough players, but still like a like for like in the sense of that. But I think the biggest issue with the midfield they're aging, and like, for example, Henderson can't get across to cover Trent as he used to, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But the whole of your back line haven't been convincing at all, which is normally, and this thing, let me say back five, because Alisson's out of form as well, to be fair. Like, why has this drop off been so monumentous? Like, it's
not a clue. Genuinely, I'm a lot of things going on. I think there's too many players that are comfortable in their position at the moment, and I think you have players within that midfield like Oxlade-Chamberlain, for example. If you're Thiago right now, or you're, really, let's just focus on Thiago. Who is his backup? His backup then is either Curtis Jones or Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And no disrespect to either of those players, but they just don't fill the standards set to maintain a level of performance at a prominent level. It's if you're Thiago Alcantara, he's thinking if he has a bad game, oh, well, I had a bad game, I maybe drop, but the chances are I'll play again. Whereas we don't have that ruthlessness within our depth, that whenever a player performs bad, you can always replace and rotate to accommodate the team's overall performance. And I feel it's just a multitude of things. Now, that's not to say that Alisson's too comfortable in his position because he's been off form, because I think Keller has been pushing him right to the wire. But I think it's a big confidence problem, and it's a systematic change, which I think is just a lot lost interpretation on the players. I really don't know what's going on, but I just feel like there's a big disconnect between, I think, what the players can achieve and what the manager and the board and the fans demand of them. And I think that is penultimately representing of the poor form that we're currently in.
Yes.
Big up, bro.
Yes. Hold on. Is my thing mute? Can you hear me?
It was me. Before we come to you on Arsenal, are you Klopping or out?
I'm Klopp in, but I believe Klopp shouldn't be immune to criticism, and I think criticism should be directed his way. But I think context is a beautiful thing, and when you apply the context of the current situation in regards to the under-recruitment over a sustained period of time, the comfort that these players are all in, I think, the blame should be shared. But I am concerned. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned, because I think when you look at our next 10 games in particular, it's very, very worrying considering the current form we're in. But I'm Klopp in at the moment.
Don't worry, you're going to play charity professional football club soon, so whoever hasn't scored in a million years will end up bagging a brace or something. It always happens. Lee, we'll come to you after a few comments because we need to talk about how Arsenal survived. How on earth have they survived this? So Chris here is saying that Fabinho and Henderson this season are red carpet security cars. Big up my brother Ferbs, UFTV. Hope you're doing well. Says big up Rod, saying blessings to the community. The players aren't buying into Klopp anymore. There's this whole 7-year sort of regime thing that's Klopp, which keeps coming back up as well. Chris here mentioned obviously the fact that Kate is injury prone, the fact that you've still got Ox. It's not looking good. Chris Milner was asleep on the bench, which is a worry. It was a combination of issues at Liverpool, which includes identity, confidence, and so on. As mentioned earlier as well, the cost of living crisis means they can't buy the inhalers and that. So the fitness ain't fitnessing at the minute. Lee. 3 p.m. last. Yeah, can you? 3 p.m. yesterday, you lot were sweating. Obviously, Everton, Goodison Park's never an easy place to go. New manager bounce, etc., etc. And by the looks of it, it was your worst performance. Fast forward 24 hours, your enemies have done you a favor.
Listen, man. Firstly, big up for you. Listen, I appreciate you for having me on your channel, man. It's been a long time, but I appreciate that, and big up to everyone on the panel as well. But you know what? Yeah, we're extremely, extremely lucky this weekend. Extremely lucky, and let's hope that we can learn from it. Hopefully, look. I said beforehand, I did a preview with Jess from She Knows Ball. I think that's her username, and we was talking about like how difficult the game was going to be, and we just got a bad record up there. Like, I don't know what it is. We just got a bad record in well, not only at Everton but also Liverpool as well. I'm sure Klopp Talk TV can kind of attest to that as well. And listen. Even Luca, shout out to Luca. He's someone who I've been on his channel before, Arsenal fan. He kind of said earlier on that he thought that we were like the league's gone now. He's like, the league's gone because obviously we've lost yesterday. With all the confidence that we had and sort of the way we've been playing, I just wasn't confident yesterday. I thought it was going to be a struggle. It was a struggle, but what was maybe more worrying is that we actually looked quite leggy. Like a lot of our players looked quite leggy. Maybe it was the nerves. Maybe it was just because that new manager bounce. I don't know. Sean Dyche is. I think we've got like one of the best records as a club against someone like Sean Dyche, and like all of these things that came to the fore yesterday, we lost. We lost the game, and we come to today now, and look, ultimately Spurs had a job to do. Spurs knew that they needed to kind of capitalize on the issues with Newcastle because obviously they dropped points, and Spurs can get top 4. So it's gonna be a squeaky bum time all the way to the end of the season for those 3 teams: Man United, Newcastle, and Tottenham. And listen, I can't say that I wasn't cheering on Harry Kane. I can't say that I didn't put him on my him when he was at Arsenal in his younger days, and like tagged Arsenal's official youth channel. Like, thank you. Big up to Harry Kane, man. Always, once a gunner, always a gunner, man. That's what. I'm happy.
Yeah. Listen, we know it's the Premier League and any team can beat any team, and obviously it's a crazy league as it is. But do you feel with the 2 games against City coming up, that 1 point against them should be enough to see you carry it all the way?
What, 1 point out of 6?
From City, yeah.
No, but 1 out of 6.
Yeah, just against City, yeah. So one draw.
No. We have to beat them. We have to beat them in one game at least.
Psychologically as well.
Yeah, you need to get 3 to 4 points off them.
I think 4 points, because I know the reason I think we're going to beat them at home, right? And I think the fact that if you see our end to the season, we've got like Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, we have Man City away. Like our end to the season is quite difficult. Like, so we've from now till pretty much the next 2 or 3 months, we've got a quite favourable draw. Like we've got Liverpool.
Yeah, on paper, Lee, I think from now till about April, your draws are looking really good. You know, apart from the City game, obviously.
Apart from the City game. So,
yeah. But then they're not in great form either. So depending on how it's looking in 2 weeks' time, might be a good time to play them.
Yeah. So my thing was, and it was annoying because Man City's kind of weird and hard run was now, and they've been dropping points. They lost points against Man United. They dropped points today against Spurs. So we kind of needed to beat, Everton yesterday to kind of take full advantage, because this was their hard run. I think next they got like Wolves. They should do their thing against Wolves at home.
This is going to be an interesting thing, though, for you guys, just to see where the team is at psychologically. Because obviously, if it was last season, I would have said, I fully would have bought into the new manager bounce and that, because Everton have been dead. But I fully expected you guys to win yesterday. And it's not often that you can say that.
Do you know what it is, though, right? Like, we just got some grounds. Like, even we had it with Palace. Like, we just sometimes turn up against Palace and we will just get...
Because I noticed it was different for you guys this year, because there's certain places where I would have expected you to drop points last season, and then you haven't this year.
Last season, do you know last season, we played Everton and we were like quite well. I think we were just about got into the top 4, and Everton were like down in the doldrum. I think they lost their previous 9 games. Arsenal turns up, they win from a Damari Gray last minute winner. Like, it always happens. So I think it's one of those. I remember back in the day. Do you remember Adam Johnson, who actually also played for Palace? Last minute winner, scores and we lose. Like, this is how far back this has been going. So it's been a continuous thing. But listen, I tweeted, if this is the title race, I don't think I can. This is only game 20, man. I listen, man. I've got 18 more games, bro.
Listen, you lot have got life today, man. It's still 5 points clear with a game in hand. Yeah, happy days.
That's a big
so game in hand. I think it's Everton at home. That we've got, I believe, and then obviously we've got Man City as well. So we've got some. Well, next week we've got Brentford, so we've got a favourable.
I don't think all is right at Man City as well. Obviously, we had the Cancelo situation in Jan.
A few issues there.
I heard that Bernardo Silva was also up for grabs. It's quite concerning that a player like that is just made available for loan.
My thing with Man City is, as good as they are, I don't trust them to go on a 12-13 game unbeaten run. I don't.
Not with this current squad.
Not with the current team. So that's why
I think there might be a few issues of motivation there as well. I think a bit of complacency is definitely snuck in. Having won 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah, I agree. Right. Well, to come talk United a bit. I mean, I've been talking about United all weekends with these match reactions. Obviously, I haven't heard your perspective, Brush.
No, I thought it was a tight game, man. I thought it was going to be like that. I predicted 2-1 before. The only thing I didn't predict was chokeholds and other things going unpunished.
We'll get into it. But once again, big up to Luca, AFC. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already to his channel. Great content. I know he's definitely a much happier Arsenal fan this season than he was last. Big up, Jackie. Spurs have done themselves a favour. Never would have. They admit they've given Arsenal help.
And I'll tell you what, questions have to be asked about Spurs. Are they better without Conte actually there?
Nah. Do you know what it is with Spurs, though, right? Do you know what it is with Spurs? Like, it's a thing where they just have Man City's card at home, especially. They just got their card marked. And I think
I think there's a crazy stat as well, bro. I don't think Man City score when they go to White Hart Lane.
No, they haven't scored. And it's a weird one because, Man City, they've had some absolutely blinding teams and they still haven't been able to score. They missed 2 penalties in that stadium as well. So it's a weird one. But for me,
I was blinded by my FPL this week. I needed that to be like a 3-3 draw or a 3-2 or something. Yeah. Haaland and De Bruyne left me in the mud.
I think Spurs will be that team where they're just going to have inconsistencies. That game today was made for them because they can do what they normally do, which is counter attack. They struggle against the lower teams that where they have to try and break them down. And you see it game in and game out. If Kane doesn't get that link up play, then they find it a little bit more difficult, to get and penetrate through. Whereas if you're playing against the bigger teams, obviously other than Arsenal, because we slapped them home and away, but when you play the big team, it's difficult. It's difficult for them.
Oh, thanks. Jackie saying that Arsenal need to beat City. The momentum it would give to either club if they won. Let's see. Lucas saying that Everton beat us. Leicester Villa will be hard. To win the league, we need to beat City. Yes, that's pretty much everything that you've all.
Yeah, at least one of the games I would say they have to win.
Right. Brush, talk to us about your Brazilian world-class midfielder and wanting to...
Listen, you know what? In that moment, you can't really justify it, but in that moment, if it's the worst possible angle that the referee's seen in it, it looks so much worse than it is just when you freeze frame it. But how you can card that, but not even book anyone else for none of the stuff that happened is mad to me. Fred got assaulted, bro. Like, there's no other word for it. Fred got assaulted.
Listen,
but I want
to be fair, like, I thought both either get yellow or both get red.
Yeah. And it is mad. If you watch the whole thing, like literally, like Cass and Hughes, they pieced it up by the end of that argument, man. They were arguing, like they didn't pay it too much mind. Referees just got the wrong end of the stick there for me. Obviously, I understand that at no point can you put your hand around anyone's throat. But yeah, I don't even think there was any malice there. As wild as that sounds, like, I don't think he was even paying attention to look where he was grabbing him.
It was just handbags.
Yeah. But I prefer to look at the positives though, man. The build up to Rashford's goal was sick.
It was brilliant.
There was 14 passes put together. I thought the finish itself was a bit fortunate, but the build up makes me happy.
100%. Question for you: what do you think about Anthony's role in Netgate?
I mean, he's kind of to blame in it.
Do you know what though, right? Like, I don't know how you feel about like Anthony, but like I didn't actually see the whole thing. I actually didn't see the whole thing, so it was a weird one for me to kind of. Well, it's a weird one for me to comment, but I saw the grab from Casemiro, and they're saying that it was the shirt. It wasn't even his neck.
Like, bro, he wasn't even looking at Will Hughes properly, man. There was so much going on. It was just unfortunate. It was one of those things. There's a height difference there as well. Anthony though. I mean, Ten Hag's gonna have to talk to him about keeping his temper in check because he's the one that kind of escalates the situation first of all.
Anthony reminds me of that guy, that like he wants to start the beef, but he never wants to back his own stuff. He's a weird guy, man. Like, I think he's not really.
He's South American, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's come to the league, right, and he's probably not hit the heights that he wants to hit, and now he's probably looking at him, thinking to himself, "How can I get myself in the favour of Man United good books?" I'm not saying that was his intention, but I'm just thinking out loud because ultimately. Quite
no, weird. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was an unnecessary challenge on him, innit? Like, he's gone flying and he's just reacted. It's one of those human nature things.
Yeah, but Brush though, like, he went down like he was shot.
Again, he's South American, innit?
And then Schlupp called him the Brazilian Anthony Gordon, and he decided to stop fighting. Like.
No, but that's reason for beef, though, isn't it, bro? It ain't about being called Anthony Gordon, man.
I think for him, though, like he's just trying to get himself endeared with the fans because he's not been playing well. He hasn't been playing well at all, innit? Yeah. So
in terms of that, like, listen, it's a new league. Like, it's a big difference from Eredivisie to the Prem. It's going to take time. Some of the criticism has been valid, but some of it has also been a bit over the top, man. The guy's 22. With regards to the fee, I do think we paid double what he's worth, but that's not really his fault.
He's not £100 million player.
Nah.
One thing I will say, he defensively he's been doing real well lately.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, isn't it? Until you can master your craft, you have to do the simple things and get in favor. So yeah, he's always
Man,
cut back and do all of that.
you let these waste man come bad up these South Londoners, man. But they don't know. How you let these waste men come bad up the South London boy there, man?
It was Will Hughes they targeted. Think about it. Listen, I you and Schlupp held their own still. You know.
You say we'll never try that with us.
Listen, justice for Fred, man. Fred got punched in the throat, bro. What the hell?
Oh, bro, man said, they picked on the victim, man. That's what you're saying.
Literally, they knew what they were doing. So the brothers had to back it. They had to back it.
Yeah.
Listen, Lee, meet Bobby K. Bobby K is a Spurs fan. You need to say thank you.
Big up. Listen, Bobby, I come bearing gifts, man. I come bearing gifts.
Listen, man. I want to know which one of these two was celebrating the most when Kane scored.
I'll be honest, it was definitely me, man. I'll be honest. I put a picture of him. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I put a picture of him on my actual Instagram, bro. That's how happy I am. Look at it, I'm shameless. Oh, I don't care, bro. I don't care. Happy days, man. But for me, look, I'm happy. Do you think Russia are going to make the top 4?
Yeah. I think anything outside of the top 4 would be a big letdown for where we find ourselves.
But like, you've got air fiction.
Yeah. That's the one thing that can mess us up. But having an actual coach that to believe in, like, it's made all the difference, man. Yeah, it's for the first time in a long time we can actually believe and look forward to things. The fixture congestion is wild, but we're just gonna have to rotate and manage, hope for the best.
Because you've got like another game against Leeds,
bro. We've got Leeds back to back. We've got them on Wednesday and then again on Sunday. Whoever came out of that is just
and they need to win, bro.
Yeah, because they lost today as well. And how often do teams just go taking 3 hours in the space of a week? Like, you know, it's hard. Yeah. It's gonna be hard.
I'm gonna come to ask you another question, Brush, just short in a minute. But Bobby saying mixed emotion, boys. Happy we won, but not happy to help Arsenal. Hopefully, Dash shares his game plan from yesterday with everyone else. My question to you, Brush, just quickly: with the Casemiro red card, would you want would you want your club to appeal it, knowing that?
So this is an interesting one. This is it's a 4-game ban, isn't it? Yeah, it's an interesting one. Usually, I probably would just leave it alone, but in this instance, I'll be tempted to appeal. You know, just because when you look at the whole incident and what else went on, it's wild. Either you have to take retrospective action against a few of the others, or you got to drop everything.
But in saying that, you know how the FA are.
Yeah,
they don't like to be proven wrong. Do you take the risk?
It's one of those ones, isn't it? And then when you look at the games,
if you do that, and what they're saying is they add another game on.
Yeah. So if you fail with the appeal, it becomes a 4-match ban.
But Brush, what do you think your club's angle would be? What, that he didn't grab him by the neck? What's your angle?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because listen, on that freeze frame, it does look bad, isn't it? And like Rich said,
what I'm saying to you is like, okay, he's been sent off because it shows that it looks like he's manhandled a guy. I'm saying to you, if it was you, right, what is your angle to try and negate him having the 3-match ban? From like, what is it that you would come and say?
It's just to add context, bro. You'd have to just analyze the entire situation and not that one thing that the referee saw on the monitor. Because that's the thing. The referee didn't go back and watch the whole thing, how it played out. He literally just looked at that one freeze frame moment where it looked like Casemiro was choking the hell out of Will Hughes.
Trust me. Jackie is saying, I think they should appeal. There is a bigger picture. The ref let emotions take over. You know what? The standard of refereeing in this country is terrible. Anyway,
it's one of those.
Let me say something on the rest. Yeah, for me, I just think that referee is so bad in this country, and like a lot of injuries and a lot of incidents, like yesterday, for example, happens because of bad refereeing. If you get control of a game in the first 2 or 3 minutes, if you see a yellow card offence, don't not give the yellow card because it's the first 2 or 3 minutes. You judge every moment, every tackle, every situation as it is. You don't wait on the circumstance of the time. And for me, I feel like what bloody happens is all these things, these big things happen because because the referees don't actually grab games by the scruff of the neck. And that's when you see leg breaks. That's when you see fights happen. That's when you see things overspill from players. And
they need to start channeling the inner Pierluigi Collina.
And it's just bad. It's bad officiating overall. And I just think to myself, like, the fact that they don't even bloody referee the game anymore and they wait for VAR everything, it's just getting ridiculous, man.
It is bad.
I don't mind waiting for VAR if they then get the decision right, but they're using VAR and still messing up, which is wild.
Yeah. The ref only looked at freeze frame, not build up or post. Netgate, and that's pretty much what Brush was saying. Big up my brother CM. For those who don't know, the rap for our intro music, this is the creator of that. CM 22 Entertainment. Man United fan as well. Asked everyone to drop some Eagles in the chat. Well, the Eagles' feathers got clipped, boy.
I don't know, but I don't know, man. Uncle Pat, man. I don't know, bro. He's not looking good right now, man. Uncle Pat's looking like he doesn't even know what day it is.
Yo, but he's not been back though, innit? Like, look what he's had to work with, innit?
We have spent the least amount of money of all Premiership clubs over the last 10 years. And we spent the least amount of money. To think about how successful our season was last year, and then we spent 22 million in the summer.
Rich, who's this new midfielder that you got from Stuttgart? What's he about?
He's a good player.
yeah, I don't know too much about him, man.
Very energetic. He kind of can fit the Gallagher mode, because you know what we were very good at last season was the pressing,
the energy. And
that's what he's going to bring. But you know who did impress me, and I'm going to talk about him. Listen, go get your Declan Rice, go get your Moses Caicedo. Sambi Lokonga looks it.
I'll tell you what. I thought that was a good move for him. Like,
Rich, man. Let me say something to you, Rich, bro. I think your standards might be on the floor with that one, bro. I think.
But do you not think Patrick Vieira is the perfect man to be?
Rich, you know you're my guy. You're my guy, Like, you are. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I think you need to raise them levels up, man. Not that guy.
Do you forget what club I support and how much money we
I know, but listen, you know what? I'm giving you ratings, bro. I said to you, you should be finishing top 10 this season. You was not optimistic, but I was optimistic.
But I was not optimistic because of our summer.
Yeah, but I think you should be doing a little bit better. But anyway,
there's only so much we can do with Jeffrey Schlupp in midfield.
I think
and plus the competition in the league now is so crazy, man. You can't really call it from like 9th place to about 16th.
But no, all right, hear what I'm saying though, Jordan. Yeah, I was about to give him praise. Let me give him a little bit of praise. I was gonna say everybody can get him and get something out of him. I think Vieira, because you know Vieira's known for being that father figure. I think I saw something about Olise saying like he's got his arm around him. Today, obviously, he went to go and see Arsene Wenger, and like it was a very sort of nice moment. And I think someone like Lokonga, he does need to have that arm around him. He does need to be in maybe a quieter environment where he can just play his football. I don't think he's ready for a club like Arsenal. I'll be honest, he's not that guy though, bro. I can tell you all of that.
For me, for a player like Lokonga, there's no one else to be under the tutelage of than big PV.
And don't forget, when you look at it from our side, from Palace point of view, Chet Decore has done everything. You know, so having someone like Sambi, and like I said, he only played 15 minutes, but he just looks comfortable. You know, and that's all we need is a bit of help for Decore. You know, and I know you lot are going to go for like a Caicedo or Declan Rice in the summer. So hopefully we can nick a Sambi for 15 mil.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah, he's like a 12 million, 15 million.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and that's
as long as
budget.
as long as Chelsea don't swoop in, Lee, I'm gonna have to ask you about that as well. How you been feeling, man? Like anytime you guys are interested in anyone, they just come and.
Do you know what? Yeah, if we're talking about that transfer thing, all right. So my issue with Arsenal's board isn't that we didn't get the players. It's just that we're so loud with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the fact that we can't seem to do deals in the background. We make it so obvious that we're going for a player. You think of Liverpool, you think of Chelsea, you think of even Spurs. They go for Man United. When they go for a player, they do due diligence in the background, and then they're going in with like an assured bid that they know is going to get like accepted. With us, it's all this out in the open. We do this bid, and then we do this bid more. Like, it's just drags. It's long. So I don't mind how they move. It's just the loud. Why are you so loud?
But with the Mudryk one, yeah, I don't even think Arsenal were loud like that. My guy baited the whole.
It looked like he was cracking for you lot as well.
We weren't loud, but like, my point is, don't let it get loud. Don't just go in there, bang, do your thing. You don't need to let man, come in there and like make it seem that they can one up you. Like, man, we got gazumped, yeah. So okay, cool. I'm not actually that annoyed, because ultimately they've paid £95 million. That's a waste, bro, or 90 million, whatever it is. He's not a £95 million player. I don't know if you know, but he's only previously played 31 league games, and he's 22. That's concerning to me. So I'm looking at him like, all right, cool. We move on to Trossard. Trossard, we got for 27 million, 20 million.
You got me like a third of the price. A third of the price.
I think that's a tidy signing right there.
That's a tidy signing. He's serviceable. So I'm not actually vexed with that. My issue is, as I said to you, it's not that we don't get players. It's just that we're mad loud. Like, why are you so loud? But like, the way we do transfers, it's like, when you get someone who's like eating and they're just chomping their mouth, and you just hear them clapping their mouth. Like, close your mouth, man. Just eat your food silently. Eat your food properly. That's what Arsenal remind me of. But yeah, listen, we've got Jorginho as well. Obviously, Caicedo. I think the deal was messed up from Caicedo's end, because obviously my man tried to announce a signing the departure by himself, bro. Like, he's getting the wrong advice, and he messed it.
I don't even think it was Caicedo. His definitely his representatives tried to put that like.
Yeah,
they probably said, if you do this, then it would aid the process.
yeah. But he thought that what he was going to do was, and I was thinking to myself, when was the last time a player's handed in a transfer request? No one does that nowadays. So he thought that me going out of my way to show, look, I love Brighton, but I want to move on to go a step up. He thought it was going to help, but he should have had the right advice from his advisor to say, look, it's going to work. Let's do it another way. Let's just work with Brighton and soften them up so we can get the move. But listen, man, like, I think in the summer we're looking at Declan Rice, we're looking at Caicedo. I think some players may leave, and let's hope, man. Let's hope, because we do need a new midfield. Even you saw yesterday, look at the pace and power of Everton's midfield. Decore, Gay.
It was mainly Onana, to be honest, and I reckon he's going to get target for a few teams.
Steam train, yeah, just rolling through the middle. Like, he literally just was like Patrick Vieira from all those years ago, just rolling in the middle, like just taking over. It was mad. So Jorginho is serviceable. He's a good replacement, but he's probably like not exactly what we needed, to be honest with you.
Cool. I'm going to address a few comments, and I'm going to ask two questions to each of you, and then we'll wrap up. And so cheers, Nev. To be fair, Caicedo plays well for the rest of the season. All is forgotten in a few weeks. Yeah, to be fair, Brighton, they will play him because he's a good player. Big up CM. Obviously, say drop a like and subscribe. Obviously, road to. I mean, we take small things. We'll take the road to 1.3K, which is around the corner. I think we're probably at 12 or 13 subs off that. So appreciate that. Big up Hazard in the chat as well. Hope you had a good weekend, my guy. Right. Going around the panel. First question. Where are you finishing this season? So for Palace, I think we finished 11th. Alid, Liverpool?
8th. I genuinely can't see us. Like, I know a lot of people say, well, we always have that grit to get back in the fight, but I'm not even seeing any signs of that at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of games, a lot of points up for grabs, and things can obviously change. But I really can't see it. Realistically, I can't see it. So 8th.
Rush?
3rd. And that's me being quite optimistic as well, because we've got a lot of games coming up and that.
Cup on the floor. Wash your cup on the floor and the princess cup.
Lee?
Cup that
What, are you asking about my United, yeah?
I'm asking you about your club.
Oh, bro. I'm going to say top. So we're going to win it.
I don't think anyone but Man United fans and Spurs fans will begrudge you of that. You've been brilliant.
No. I think Man United has to win, to be fair. I think anyone has to win it. You know why? Because they're worried about Man City doing the 3 in a row because no other team's ever done that before.
Right, Brush, what would you prefer? Arsenal winning the league or City
Listen, this
doing
is like asking me if I'd rather be
repeat?
kicked in the balls or punched in the throat, bro. I don't want neither to happen, really.
I'm taking in the throat, bro. I'm taking in the throat. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Listen, I'm one of those. I just concentrate on my own team, man. I don't really like to, put too much energy into any of that. I'm not happy with none of it. The only way we can solve that long term is for us to sort our shit out. So that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, like the way they've played, yeah, they've been brilliant this season, haven't they? Unfortunately.
Fair dues. Last question before we do the rounds and everyone can promote where everyone can find you. Nev, settle down. I'll start with you, Lee, this time. Unlimited funds, yeah? You can only pick 2 positions to strengthen in. What 2 positions and what 2 players? Unlimited funds. And unlimited availability. Like you can get any player in the world.
In the world? Oh, man. I would go for Neymar on the left wing, and I'd probably go for someone like I know we don't necessarily need him, but I just like him. Someone like Gavi or Pedri from Barcelona, centre mid.
Cool. Rush?
I'll take Frankie de Jong and Vlahovic. And we could probably do with another as well. We could probably do with a right back. But yeah, if you're giving me 2 signings, a striker and another midfielder, we need a ball progressor there next to Casemiro. Someone long term. So yeah.
The next one's going to be funny though. I ain't going to lie.
Alid, Liverpool.
I mean, it's
you need about 8.
I know. Just sort out all 11 positions to be fair. But like midfield, I don't rate Nunes either, so I'll probably say Bellingham and Haaland.
And what on earth has happened to Fabinho, bro? It's one of the quickest declines I've ever seen.
Yeah, man, I can't even defend it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him.
You know what? I would probably change mine to Bellingham and Neymar as well, actually. And I'll probably take Bellingham, actually.
Yeah. I'm special, man. But yeah, no, just midfield, and I just don't rate Nunes, to be fair. And I think we need just ruthless in front of goal, and Haaland's just representing that. So yeah, Haaland and Bellingham for me.
Palace with our we definitely the centre forward, but Vieira likes a centre forward that can be flexible. So Mbappe, and allow me to dream because this ain't never happening. I'm torn between left back and right back.
I mean, Mitchell can switch over either way, innit, depending on who you want to get.
We need an attacking fullback, man.
Didn't you have that in Patrick Van Arnold?
You know what's mad? Van Arnold will actually do well under Patrick Vieira.
It was essentially like having another left winger with him.
See, with Palace, I think your team's actually decent. Your first 11, you've got bad boy wingers, you've got Eze, you've also got 2 centre backs that are growing. Yeah, they're nice. You've got half decent. To be fair, I think your keeper is a bit shaky. I think your fullbacks, they're serviceable, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. I think when I look at your midfield, that's where the problem is, isn't it? I think your engine room. If you had 2 bad boy midfielders, or like a midfielder that can literally just do the on our team that he did yesterday to us, and a striker, you man will be doing some madness because you've got
Yeah.
Zaha, you've got you say these men are mavericks. You've got Eze, we saw what he did against Liverpool earlier on in the season, that lovely ball over the top. You've got two good centre backs. You've got fullbacks one that's a very good defender, one that can get forward. So I think you've got decent players. Where I think your problem is that you just can't score goals because you've got the brother from Celtic. He's horrible. He's absolutely shocking. And then you've also got your midfield just looks just horrible. Like everything about it just screams basic. Like in terms of Premier League, it looks basic. That's where you think.
I'm going to come back on the midfield aspect. Like I said, Chet Doucouré has been the one shining light in our midfield. The one shining light.
And now the jury's kind of out because we're going to have to see how the new players bed into that midfield, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think Eze will thrive now that we've got an Alhamada or Lakonga to play next to Doucouré.
And it'll give him the freedom to go roam.
He can just go and express himself now.
Yeah.
Like, because Schlapp playing in the 8, he doesn't know how to progress the ball forward. So Eze is dropping deep to try to pick up the ball and run through 3-4 man. It doesn't work.
Yeah, for me, you guys definitely need a fullback.
Do you know what I would do though? Yeah, why don't like you look like Zaha, false number 19? Like he's.
We've tried it. We've tried it. It doesn't. It does. Honestly, it does. Yes, he can get a shot off, but when it's like the build-up play, it just breaks down because he's got his back to goal. We've tried it. Like that's how bad it's been up top. That Vieira has put Zaha up front.
Yeah, because I think that front three is naughty. If you had Eze, Elise, and Zaha, that's nice. That is actually nice. And then behind you, if you had Doucouré, so with another nice bad, I'm talking about bad boy, and then you could have someone who just links it. Like I'm sure you've got players, and then your defense is all right. Your defense ain't bad, man. Your defense ain't bad.
No,
like
I'm saying, our centre backs are brilliant. Mitchell's having a terrible season at left back.
Yeah, but he's not bad though. That's what I'm saying.
He's not bad, but we need an upgrade. And we've had Joe Wood and Nathaniel Klein, who are both in their 30s. We've had them for way too long.
Nathaniel Klein, he's a bombing fullback. He's decent, like.
He's all right.
He used to be.
Like you've got McCarthy, you've got you've got bloody like you got what's that Dutch guy? Is it Rearwood or whatever his name is? I can't remember his name.
Why is he still there, man?
He can't buy a game for a love or toffee. To be honest,
you got
that's actually a record, you know. I can't believe he's still there, bro. Because he came in under what, Frank de Boer?
No.
Oh, it's mad. Mad.
You know what I'm saying though? I'm just like, yeah, you've got Anderson, Gay, Chris Richards, he looks like decent, and then you've got Tyreek Mitchell, or you've got Nathaniel Klein. That's serviceable. You've got James Tompkins that can come in and do a job. You've got Joe Wood who can come in and do a job. Yeah, so those are like, that's not bad. Your midfield, Elise, obviously, like obviously got Lakonga now. Like I'm just like struggling to see any quality. Like Milivojevic, like he was decent for that half a season, but he's dead. Corey looks decent, but Will Hughes dead. You got like they're all dead, but your forward line is nice.
Vieira is working wonders with Oswald. I'm telling you that.
You could do with a proper striker, though. I don't know what's happened to Edouard, but
he's fallen off.
I had higher expectations for Edouard.
No, he's dead. He's actually dead food. You need a nice striker, and your midfield, you need someone who's in there. You got Doucouré that looks nice. You got Eze, saucy player. You need someone who can literally do a bit.
That's what I'm saying. If Sambi can be that guy for us, I'll be happy with that. And stuff, because he serves to requirements at Arsenal. That's what I'm saying.
He's definitely not a 6, though. He's definitely not a 6.
No, he'll probably play an 8 for us. But what I'm saying is that.
But you guys don't need him to be a 6 though, because you got Doucouré there.
No, we got Doucouré.
Yeah.
For our price range, that type of player will be fine.
There's no option to buy, is there?
No.
Okay. Do you think it might be possible though? You think they might part ways with him?
It depends on, like I said, because I know there's rumors of Declan Rice and Caicedo
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure that would materialize.
Yeah, if they want to offset some of the finances from that, yeah, that would make
I
sense.
think we're looking at 2 centre mids. We've also got Charlie Patino coming back next season. He's going to be part of the first team as well.
He's
So
looked good at Blackpool as well.
he looks good as well. So we've got actually some quite like good youngsters. We've also got, I mean, he's not going to be part of the first team, but Miles Skelly, Miles Lewis Skelly looks like a bad boy as well. Nice youngster. So like, I think coming into the team, next season we'll have obviously Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Partey, Xhaka. And then if we get the 2 new centre mids filled in, that's 6. And then obviously,
it's not looking good for Sam.
Out. He's out, bro. So hopefully.
Well, let's wrap it there, man. Wicked show. Big up Aled, big up Brush, big up Guna Lee. You're going to be back on the channel. I'm going to make sure you're there for the Arsenal preview. 100%.
Yeah. 100%. We're there, man.
So yeah, 100. Let's start with Aled. Please shout out your channel.
Nah, big up first and foremost for having me on, Rich, and big up to Lee and Brush as well, and the chat as well. So Klopp Talk TV is where you can find me. With Liverpool and football related content. As you'll all know, it's not been a great time supporting us at the minute. But if you could just drop a like on the video, or if you even want to see me around again, hit that subscribe. I'd be really appreciating of that. So yeah, but first and foremost, most importantly, make sure you check all the guys' channels and socials out, and have a great week ahead of you guys. So yeah,
peace. My brother Lee.
Yeah, man. Yes, listen. Firstly, shout out to everyone on the panel today, man. I appreciate you, Rich, for having me on. You know, it's always a good chat. You're a proper football guy. So yeah, I appreciate you for having me on your channel, man. I always see you're doing big things there. So yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, if you want to have me see any more of my videos, Schooner.Lee on YouTube, and you also see me on AFTV. So yeah, those are the places you'll find me.
Yeah, absolute scenes. Was it the United game with Chip and that?
Oh, listen, that was
nuts.
That was actually mad. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. I was sick there.
This is it. And my brother Brush, Mr. Context himself.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Brushy87, all capitals. Aside from that, you can catch me here and just about in the community. Big up everyone.
100%. You know what? I'm so glad I got this back up and running, man. I've been so busy that this is kind of falling on the wayside. But it's so nice to just talk to other fans about ball.
Yeah.
But,
same here.
This is it. I hope we've made you feel a little bit better.
I get alive, bro. Don't go in trouble, man.
It's not looking good.
It's not, is it? But something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. Obviously, I think they're waiting for new owners to come in. That will give them a bit of clarity. But obviously, from a purely United point of view, I hope it continues.
This is it. So yeah, next week, back again 7 p.m. for another ep. I'm gonna speak to either JC or Nate, see if they can run it, and I'll be away for the weekend and stuff. I'm not going to the Brighton game either next weekend. I'm away with the wife. So yeah, phone might.
You know this is being recorded, right, Rich? You look mad depressed when you said that.
To be fair, I just take her phone and press the like button and then keep it moving. Now, to be honest, it's a well-earned rest. It is a well-earned rest and such. And you know what? He's finally made his way through. James, I just wanted to say, because we're about to wrap up, it's good to see you. For those who don't know James, he's a Bournemouth fan, non-verbal, so he normally types up his stuff in the chat. If there's ever a time you need to
big up
James. To him, he's a top guy.
Stick his link in the comments as well, guys.
Stuff, James Reed. Yeah, James, put your link in the comments and we'll get people to follow you as well and stuff. I'm so glad that you're following your passions as well and wanting to, talk about your beloved Bournemouth. Apart from the fact that I was upset that you nicked some menu from us, but anyway. And so yeah, before we wrap up, we'll just wait for James to put his link in the chat.
And while that's happening, let's talk about Semenyo, because there was elements to his game that I was really impressed with yesterday, and then other bits that really annoyed me. The decision making. Oh,
And you see what I was saying about if we had a striker? See, he would have cooked under Vieira.
yeah.
But
Listen,
our owners
man,
are
you got
just
the
not
Congo,
serious.
man. You're all right, man. You got the Congo.
No, but we needed a striker. That's what I was talking about. Semenyo would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. Okay, wicked. He's put it in the private chat.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's
I'll put it.
Let me copy that into the main chat as well.
Big up, man.
And I think that's it there. Wicked. Right. I'm going to have to go do daddy duties because it sounds like the girls doing something. Listen, big up everyone. Make sure you follow all the guys on the panel. I love for everything, bro. See you in a week. Peace.
Check it out.